We will stand before you again at the end of this trial and ask that you find Karen Reed not guilty.
All right. Thank you very much, Mr. Yannetti.
May we approach you at sidebar?
Yes.
Hear ye, hear ye, hear ye. All persons having anything to do before the Honorable Beverly Canoni, Justice of the Superior Court, holding in Dedham within and for the County of Norfolk. Draw near, give your attendance, and you shall be heard. God save the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
Your Honor, the Commonwealth would object to defense counsel's opening, contrary to rulings of this court. They opened with suggestions of a third-party culprit. Twice, defense counsel represented that Karen Reed was framed and that she was ambushed, and that someone else did it. The Commonwealth would like to object, given the ruling of this court, that there would be no third-party culprit claims within the openings.
Well, what do you want me to say? Just say openings are not evidence? I remind you, openings are not evidence?
Sorry. One of the jurors needs to go to the bathroom.
Yes, we are going to take a recess. This is probably a good time to continue this.
Yes. So if you could note the Commonwealth's objection and give a limiting instruction, reminding the jurors that openings are not evidence.
Okay. Mr. Yannetti?
I don't think that I did anything improper. I think that I couched it in terms of the lack of investigation that they did, and I did not name any third-party culprit at all. But I have no objection to the court's solution.
Okay. You did a decent job, but there were a couple of times that you pushed it. All right. I will instruct them when they come back. What I was going to say is we'll take a 15-minute recess. Who is your witness? Do you have more than one for now until 1 o'clock, or do you have just one?
Probably just one.
Okay. And that is?
Paul O'Keefe.
All right. So we will take a 15-minute recess.
Thank you.
All right.
What's back in session, you may be seated.
All right, jurors, we're about to begin the evidence in this case, and I remind you, I defined for you what the evidence is and what isn't evidence. Please remember that the opening statements of lawyers are not evidence. You're about to hear the evidence starting now. So, Mr. Lally, your first witness, please.
Yes, Your Honor. The Commonwealth to call Mr. Paul O'Keefe to the stand.
Okay.
Now, if I could turn your attention to New Year's, and specifically New Year's Eve going from 2021 into 2022. Do you recall that time?
I do.
And do you recall where you and your family were for that sort of New Year's celebration?
Yeah, so I was with my wife and her family. We went to Aruba the day after Christmas in celebration of my wife's mother's 70th birthday.
Mr. Lally, does it make sense that I give an instruction at this point? I'm going to see counsel at sidebar.
I don't know.
With regard to this witness, so they were in the room around the same time, but they did not see each other.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So the next witness, there is conversation between her, meaning Mrs. O'Keefe, Mrs. Aaron O'Keefe, and the defendant in regard to what happened. With this witness, it may well be hearsay. Okay.
Just to confirm, if I may address the court, I'm just making sure. There was some indication on a report that Paul O'Keefe had told the police that he did not go over to Karen and John's place because they were fighting, something like that. That's what you're referring to, in terms of when you say you're not seeking to elicit that from him?
Correct. So he gets that information from his wife, not directly from your client.
Okay.
But no, I'm not seeking anything about.
Then that's fine.
So you don't want me to draw attention to it with an instruction?
Correct.
Then that's fine.
So you don't want me to draw attention to it with an instruction?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
So during that New Year's Eve, you were in Aruba for your wife's mother's 70th birthday, correct?
Correct.
Now, Mr. O'Keefe, the Ring camera that we're talking about, have you seen those on like a disc form? Is that correct?
Have I seen them on a disc form? I'm not sure if I follow that question.
Sure. Have you viewed any Ring camera footage from either the front door or the driveway to your brother's house?
No, I didn't have access.
Okay. Now, you want to maybe approach?
Yes.
So they are not marked as exhibits yet, but what I'd like to do is show this witness some video from the Ring, whether she's on the Ring footage or it comes from that day. So I'm just,
Is this going to be an agreed upon exhibit?
I believe so, but
Just explain which one it is, which Ring video it is.
I think there was one when he arrives back at the house from the hospital, along with his friends and Ms. Roberts. And then there is when Ms. Reed arrives with her father, and then basically just to identify who these people are in these videos. And then there's a couple just in reference to sort of snow removal from the driveway and when that occurred.
We have no objection to that.
That's fine, so let's mark it as an exhibit.
That's fine.
Okay.
All right, so Mr. Lally, you have something to mark as an exhibit?
Yes, Your Honor. So there are two discs, one labeled Meadow Ave Ring videos. Oh, sorry.
So they've already been marked.
Already been marked.
All right, so the next, go right ahead.
No. Okay. So
Regard it and let us know. And just to remind you, tomorrow will be a half day. We'll go from 9 o'clock until 1 o'clock with a mid-morning break. So thank you very much. We'll see you tomorrow.
All eyes, please. Juries, close your notebooks and leave them on the chairs. First row, follow me, please.
All right, could I see counsel at sidebar for a moment, please?
So, do you expect Detective Lank tomorrow? I'm sorry. Do you expect Detective Lank tomorrow?
No.
Okay, because whenever he testifies, I'd like a voir dire on the issue of the prior allegations.
Sure.
So just give us enough of a heads up.
I would say Friday at the earliest.
Okay. Who do you have tomorrow, just because it helps me prepare?
Sure. So tomorrow, I think we will just continue with Officer Saraf. Then we have Officer Mullaney. And then essentially it's going to be a number of firefighters.
Okay.
So we're going to have Timothy Nuttall, Anthony Flamati, Matthew Kelly, Francis Walsh, Katie McLaughlin, probably, depending on how far we get with all of that. I'm not sure how much cross there is for those people, but I think it would be Gregory Woodbury, then Daniel Whitley. And I'm not saying we'll get into all of these tomorrow, but these are basically, I'm going through the paramedics that dealt with Mr. O'Keefe, and then I'm going through the paramedics that dealt with Miss Reed.
Okay.
Mr. Whitley and Mr. Becker would be the last two there.
All right. Anything regarding any of that testimony that you expect limiting instructions on or any evidentiary issues that we need to be concerned with?
I don't think so, Judge.
I think even exhibit-wise, for the most part, it would just be run reports and a lot of the same photographs as far as where the body was when they arrived there and that kind of thing.
All right. So anything that needs to be pre-marked will be marked tomorrow morning.
That's fantastic.
9 o'clock tomorrow, and we will be here at 8:30.
We will start at 9 and be here at 8:30 if you want anything marked.
Of course.
We need one person from each side.
Of course. I appreciate it.
All right.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's move to another area of the dashcam video. I want to keep playing it at the 28-minute mark, 28-minute and 20-second mark or so.
So can I see counsel at sidebar for just a minute, please?
So typically we play something only once. You played it twice and you were ready to play it a third. You need to ask permission to do anything like that, okay?
Sure.
You can't just keep playing things twice. All right, so you said we're going to keep focusing on the 26th, or whatever it was. Are you planning on showing it for a second time?
This one, it will probably. It's hard to see the first time. I'll do my best to highlight what I'm asking him to look at. I may ask to play it twice, no more than twice.
What is it?
It shows Jennifer McAbe pass by an SUV and go into the house.
Can you freeze it as it goes on instead of showing it twice?
I will.
Once you show it more than once, it gets to argument, okay?
I'll do my best.
So just once, just once.
Do you recognize your dashcam video being on the left of the screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Have you looked at Sergeant Good's dashcam video, which is squared up on the right side of the screen?
No.
You've never seen it?
No.
Okay. Does it appear to you that these are two different perspectives of the same scene? In other words, you see the car or the SUV on the left side of the screen right here, correct?
Yes, sir.
See that same SUV right there, correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Does that appear to be two different perspectives, two different angles
Yes.
of basically the same thing?
Yes.
Okay. I want to draw your attention to the individuals to the left of the SUV right here. There's a person wearing a hood with fur on it. Is that Carrie Roberts, to your memory?
I don't know.
Okay. There appears to be another person with a darker jacket standing just in front of that person with the hood and fur. You see that person?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to ask you to focus on the person in the darker jacket.
Sure.
I believe, and the only reason I'm asking you to focus at this point is because I want to try to play this just once and see if you recognize what's depicted in the video.
Sure.
Looked like he had, in addition to the egg on the right side of his head, in the front, did it also have a black eye on the left side?
If memory serves correct, yes.
So both eyes were blackened.
Primarily the right side, if memory serves.
Okay. And the laceration toward the right side?
Yes.
Of the right eye. Are those injuries that you just described consistent or inconsistent with some sort of physical altercation?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained. Next question, please.
Did it appear to you, just from your initial assessment, given your experience, training, and background, that those injuries looked like he had been in a fight?
Objection.
I'll see counsel at sidebar, please.
What is the objection?
I don't know whether this witness has the basis of knowledge to document causality as it comes through injuries that he observed.
So if you can build a foundation, you can do that. And don't ask for demonstrations or having him repeat something. It's only one time.
I don't understand what the court's issue is. If people didn't pay attention to it, then
Are you pointing your finger at me?
No. I'm pointing my finger at the jurors. If the jurors do not see what he did, there is nothing argumentative about saying, "What did you do?" I want to make sure everybody saw what he did.
I'm not sure.
They've seen it once.
I don't know that they've seen it once.
Well, that's...
As a matter of fact, they did see it once.
I was watching. It was good enough, and it wasn't enough to respond to it with demonstrations.
Fair enough. Your Honor, just to dovetail off of what Mr. Lally indicated, this witness testified that for about the first 30 minutes of his testimony about his extensive medical background. I feel like it's a waste of time, but I could ask him a few more questions about whether or not he's seen many fights before, or the product of that.
You can ask him about causation as well.
Okay, fair enough.
Thank you.
Sir?
Little break. In your experience as obviously a training firefighter, tell me the word again that you used.
Field training officer or preceptor.
Thank you. As a field training officer, have you seen in your experience the product or the injuries that can be produced from fistfights? Yes. Okay. Injuries to the face?
Yes.
Injuries to the mouth?
Yes.
Injuries to the nose?
Yes.
To the ears?
Yep.
To the eyes? Defensive wounds on the hands?
Yes.
Did you note we've already talked about, and I don't want to go over all this again, you've already noted what the injuries to the face were that you saw Mr. O'Keefe having suffered.
Yes.
Were those consistent or inconsistent with a physical altercation?
I couldn't say.
Were they consistent or inconsistent with being in a fight?
I couldn't say.
Was that egg over his right eye consistent or inconsistent with him having been punched or hit?
I couldn't say.
I thought you said that one of the common causes of an egg like that, a hematoma, as you put it, over someone's eye, is being hit or punched.
There's quite a few reasons that somebody could get an egg, such as that over their head. You can get hit with a golf ball.
Of course.
For instance.
I'm not asking you to the exclusion of everything else.
Yeah.
I'm asking you, is it consistent?
It's consistent. It could be.
Okay. And the other injuries as well?
Correct.
Okay. Did you see bruising to the back of one or both of his hands?
His hands were, as stated, they were very cold and very white. They were not well perfused. And when you don't have adequate perfusion, swelling and smaller injuries don't typically present themselves, if you will.
So you may not have seen them?
Correct.
The bruising may have been there.
It might have been there. It just wasn't observable just due to the condition of his hands.
Just may have overlooked it?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like to play, but first I'd like to have marked. I think it's already been marked, Exhibit 379. It's a video, a snippet of a video. It's probably 3 minutes long. It's not that long. I'd like to play that portion of the video for you. And when it's done, Firefighter I'm looking at the wrong notes. Firefighter Flamati, which is not that easy to say.
Did a great job.
I'm going to ask you to show me exactly where on the video, if you can, that you had this conversation
For the laser pointer?
with my client. Yes, you can use the laser pointer as you wish. This is just to orient you, if I may, Your Honor. The top, this, let me see if I can do this. There we go. The top is a dash cam from one cruiser.
So I'm gonna see counsel at sidebar for a second, please.
All right. So what are we looking at? You said Exhibit 379.
Yes.
It's pre-marked and stipulated.
I know. I just want to know what this is.
So I expect there's going to be some real different versions throughout the trial. The top is the dash cam from Saraf, which he's already testified to. The bottom is the dash cam from Good, which he will testify to, and Saraf indicated was consistent with Good's vehicle, pulling up behind him, and they've been synchronized.
All right. I don't want you telling the jury all of this, showing what's up there and asking him what he sees, not this big, long preface of what it is.
Can I orient him that they are 2 different dash cams?
You can say that. Saraf, Dashcam, good Dashcam.
If the court is satisfied,
Show it without comments.
that's fine. That's fine.
For this, until we pause it, I'm going to ask you to focus your attention on the top dash cam video. Go ahead and play that. Can you pause it?
Actually, I need to see counsel at sidebar again.
All right, there is one exhibit. It's a compilation. It's a man-made exhibit, right?
Yes.
So I'm not sure I want to let all of these man-made exhibits like this in. I understand that there are 600 exhibits and there's probably 100 exhibits of snow. There are a lot of things that I have not seen. So just because you all agree doesn't mean things are permitted as exhibits, okay? So you're asking him to focus on the top, but you're still pointing at the bottom. What is the purpose of doing this?
Once the bottom exhibit, which is synchronized with the top, once he makes his way to the stand, I'm going to ask him a couple of questions about the bottom and whether or not he recognizes the individuals only, and...
Well, pointing to the top and asking him to focus on the top.
I'm asking him to focus on the top first, and then I will ask him to refocus on the bottom as the video continues to play.
We will do this once. If we need to take a break and I need to see all of the man-made exhibits, if this were not favorable to the defense and the Commonwealth wanted to do it and you moved to keep it out, I would keep it out. So I just need to see it. It may break the rhythm. Do you plan to do more than this during the cross of this witness?
No. I am doing one 3-minute video. That's it.
I'm going to watch this and just be very careful about the commenting.
Sure.
I would have loved to have seen these things earlier.
We can make a habit of showing them. I have no problem with that.
We provided them to the Commonwealth, and they stipulated to them.
I still need to let them into evidence, and this is evidence not typically done. So again, if it had been harmful to the defendant and the Commonwealth tried to do it, even if you agree, as gatekeeper, I would keep it out.
Understood.
Okay, so go ahead and do it on this one, but we're going to need a break to see them before any other put-together compilation is put in.
Sure. Understood.
Folks, we'll take a 15-minute recess.
Court, all rise, please.
So we got a jury trial going in the first session courtroom. So when something like this happens, it will sort of be an abrupt recess.
Keep everybody.
Yes. They just opened the door so people can go out.
Okay.
Why don't I watch this? How long is this? 3 minutes? Why don't I watch this now?
I was reminded. I'm happy to play the 3 minutes. This has already been, not this particular video, but we have a synchronized video, I think, already with Good and Saraf's videos.
And Ms. Little, I appreciate. If Mr. Lally is questioning a witness, you can't object.
Okay.
You can certainly reach over and tell him to object, but you can't object.
Okay.
Just as this is Mr. Jackson's witness. I'd like to see this.
Sure.
We will ask the witness to step out.
You are muted.
Yes, I'd like to see it.
That's the extent of the, or approximately the extent of the length of the video, the clip that I was going to play.
Okay. All right. So we'll take a 10-minute recess.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Football rise.
All right. So I noticed that it said 6 minutes and something up there, the two of them. The witness testified to a 1-minute conversation. You're going to show a 3-minute snippet. So you have pre-marked exhibits. That doesn't mean they aren't evidence. So you still have to introduce those into evidence. So you have to lay a foundation. Before you can say, I'm going to show you this, and where in this did this conversation take place, he has to acknowledge that it did take place in there. And if it doesn't, it's not coming in.
I'll lay a foundation.
Okay, so you need to, but there was a confusion about you pre-marked 600 exhibits. That doesn't mean they are in. So far, there are maybe 15 exhibits in evidence.
Your Honor, may I talk with Mr.
You can go ahead and talk. Let's save the time. What do you want to say?
No, I just wanted him to relate something to the court. With regard to Saraf, that is in evidence. With regard to Good, that video will be in evidence.
But it's not now.
I understand.
And it won't be until I let it in. Do you understand that?
I completely understand that. My request to Mr. Jackson would be that it be admitted to Bene, given that we fully expect it will be admitted goodwill.
We are not going to do that with 600 exhibits.
No.
But for ease of doing this today, they may both be in. But if this witness doesn't acknowledge that it occurred anyway on that before, you ask him compound questions. It's not really clear what his answer is. You need to lay the foundation to get it in now.
Right.
Okay.
Thank you, Your Honor. Firefighter Flamati, I want to draw your attention to the top video, and I may pause it and ask you a couple of questions. Let's go ahead. Pause. Did you see a person run into the screen?
Yes.
Run into the frame, rather, from screen left?
Yes.
Who's that?
I don't recall.
Okay. Let's go ahead and play it. And pause. I want to draw your attention to the left side of the top video. Did you see somebody wearing a bright yellow jacket?
If you could rewind it, I'd look at that area.
Why don't I play it forward?
Okay.
And see if you see that.
Yes.
Pause. And do you recognize that person?
I see a yellow jacket. I can't tell you who it is.
Okay. Based on your memory, have you seen this before, by the way?
No.
Okay. Based on your memory, is that the approximate position that Mr. O'Keefe was in when you or your colleagues made contact?
Approximately. I'd say a little bit more to the left. That would be my guess.
Okay. Go ahead and play it. Go ahead and pause it. You see the person enter from screen left into the frame.
It looks like a different person, yes?
That person right there. Looks like a long-haired female?
Yeah.
Does that appear to be my client?
From this angle, I couldn't tell you.
Okay. Go ahead and play it. Pause. You see a person wearing yellow right there on the left side of the screen.
If you're telling me that's a person, sure, yes.
No, he's not telling you. So ask the question. If you don't see it, you don't see it. If you do, you do.
I can't tell what that shape is.
Okay. Can you take a look, keep your eyes focused on that, and tell me if you see that figure doing anything? Pause it. Okay, do you recognize that figure now?
I can't recognize the figure, but it looks like an up and down rhythmic motion.
Okay.
That would indicate CPR.
Would that be you?
I couldn't tell you. Is the time accurate? Or 6:13?
I'm just asking you what you recognize on the video.
I couldn't tell you if that was myself or not.
Was there somebody else doing CPR?
Multiple people rotate through CPR, so yes.
Who was responsible for doing the chest compressions?
Whoever's closest to that area, we're all trained for that skill.
Okay, I'm asking in this particular case.
Yes.
I know everybody's trained. Didn't you testify earlier that you were the one doing the chest compressions?
I said I was one of them, yes.
Okay. Does that appear to be you doing the chest compressions?
It could be, I'm not sure.
Okay, let's go and play. Okay, stop it. Do you see the person basically in the middle of the screen there?
Yes,
Does that appear to be my client? Or can you tell?
I can tell.
Go ahead and play it. Can you focus your attention on that individual in the yellow jacket?
Yes.
What does that person seem to be doing?
CPR.
Which part of the CPR?
Chest compressions.
Sorry, I didn't mean to talk over you.
It's okay. Chest compressions.
I want to make sure that Nancy can get down what we're both saying. So, which part of the CPR?
Chest compressions.
Thank you. Is that you?
I don't know.
Okay. At this point, you have no idea whether or not you don't remember whether you were the one doing chest compressions when he was moved from the ground to the gurney?
I don't recall.
But you did earlier testify you were doing chest compressions.
I did at some point during this call, yes.
Okay. In the entire length of this video, do you see anybody else trade off from that person doing chest compressions from the time the person was on the ground to the gurney? Or is that the same person?
It could be the same person. I'm not sure.
Okay. Would you say that's probably you?
Objection, Your Honor.
Sustained.
Okay, go ahead.
Jurors disregard that.
Direct your attention to this person who appears to be a firefighter in the middle. Do you see that person?
Yes.
Who's that?
Objection, may we?
The objection sustained. I'll see counsel at sidebar.
What do you want to say, Mr. Lally?
Your Honor, so what I think counsel can do is counsel can direct the witness's attention to a particular part of a video or a particular point on the screen and ask them if they know where that is or if they recognize what that is. But describing it to him and then asking him to confirm it, I think is improper. So the testimony has to come from the witness, not from counsel.
That is completely untrue. This is cross-examination, so I am allowed to lead the witness.
You can lead the witness, but not on something he is not adopting at all. You cannot narrate this video, and that's what you're doing.
I'm leading the witness, asking him, does that appear to be you? Does that appear to be somebody else? And I will leave with the answer that there is.
And then you said this is a firefighter. It's a yellow jacket. So Commonwealth versus Please is an important case on these issues. You've got a video up. The video speaks for itself. A lot of what you're doing is improper.
Your Honor.
Excuse me, but there has only been one objection, and I am sustaining that objection. You can go back and do it properly.
Okay.
May I, Your Honor?
Yes.
Take a look at the person, or the yellow in the middle of the screen. Do you recognize that?
As a fire jacket and build, I would guess it was either Firefighter Kelly or...
So we don't want you to guess.
My best estimation would be Firefighter McLaughlin.
Firefighter McLaughlin?
Yes.
Okay, let's go to the play. Pause. Recognize the person in the yellow jacket to the right of who you just described as Firefighter McLaughlin?
No.
Okay. What is that person doing apparently?
My guess would be,
Not even an estimate. Do you know?
I don't know.
Next question.
Go ahead and play. Okay. Awesome. At that point, did you join your colleagues in placing Mr. O'Keefe into the ambulance?
Yes.
Okay. Based on that, did that appear to be you following the gurney in the yellow jacket over to the ambulance?
Yes.
Okay. And who is the lead firefighter? When I say lead, I mean the one to the right, leading the gurney on the front side of the gurney.
I'm not sure.
Okay. One of your colleagues, though.
Yes.
What did you do once you left the fray? Where did you go?
That would have been into the ambulance.
And as you earlier indicated, shut the doors, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And you never came back out?
No.
Okay. I'd like to draw your attention to the lower video.
Okay.
And we're just going to let that play for a couple minutes and see if you recognize anything. I'll ask you to pause it in just a second.
All right, Firefighter Kelly, with using that laser pointer that you have now before you, if you could, please direct the jury's attention on the screen to whereabouts you located Mr. O'Keefe in that supine position when you first arrived.
It was about this area right here.
Thanks. I have nothing further to this witness.
All right, cross-examination.
Yes, may we approach for a minute?
Okay. Jurors, remember, you can stand up and stretch anytime you go to stand up.
Your Honor, I just wanted to flag for the court and to minimize the interruptions here toward the end of my cross-examination, which I don't think will be lengthy anyway, but I intend to refer to a video which I'm not sure is in evidence. It is the widescreen version of the Saraf video which has been pre-marked, and I'd like to offer it into evidence given I believe the foundation was already laid through Officer Saraf.
Okay.
And then have the witness refer to it. I'm playing a 15-second portion of that video, and that's it.
Okay. Any objection?
No.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good morning, sir. All right, at this point, I'd like to play a 15-second portion of a video, which I would offer as the next exhibit, Your Honor.
Okay, so we'll watch it and then you can offer it. With no narration, right?
Never. And before you start, I'm not as interested in the video, sir. I'm interested in the audio. So if you could, listen as best you can.
Sure.
Would you agree with me, sir, that we heard what you heard that night, which is he's dead, he's fucking dead?
It was kind of hard for me to hear.
Okay.
I heard about does he do drugs? I couldn't really hear the background.
I may have a moment.
Okay.
May we approach?
Okay.
I don't want to overstep my bounds, but I'd like to play the video one more time just for the purpose of directing him more toward the beginning of the video, which it is before the statements that he said. And my argument...
For what purpose?
Just to see if he can... I heard it. I think other people heard it.
But doesn't what matter is whether the jury hears it?
Correct.
So that's the law. Correct, Mr. Yannetti?
Oh, for sure. For sure. But the testimony right now, if I can get the witness to acknowledge that, I think that will assist the jury. And I don't think there is any... I'm not looking to unnecessarily delay the trial. I'm looking for about 10 seconds.
No. Play it again and just ask him if he heard that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Don't ask him whether he heard. Just say, what did you hear?
Good. Thank you.
Mr. Kelly, I got permission to play it one more time.
I'll try my best.
So and by the way, before it's queued up, I would direct your attention more toward the beginning of that 15 seconds. As there are things that happen, I think, that you heard at the end, but you tell us if you can hear, or what you can hear.
Okay.
What did you hear?
I heard someone say "fucking dead."
Thanks.
Any redirect?
Just briefly on. That you make as far as clothing to Mr. O'Keefe's life.
I noted that he was wearing jeans. I noticed a lighter, like a black zip-up jacket or a sweatshirt. It was like a lighter jacket. I noticed he had one sneaker on, and that was it.
You recall which foot the sneaker was on?
I don't.
All right, could I see counsel for a second, please?
This is for scheduling purposes again because we have moved courtrooms and it's hard to get with the other trial going or jury going. So I want to give them enough time to do this. How much longer do we have? We are breaking for the day, but how much longer do you have with this witness?
Not much more.
Okay. And are you doing the cross of this witness tomorrow?
Yes, Your Honor.
How long do you think your cross is?
It's not extensive. I would say 20 to 30. 20.
Okay, because I'd rather finish the witness before we do the view rather than interrupt this testimony to go do the view. So I need to coordinate the bus.
Yes, I think I can do it in 20 minutes.
So we can get going around 10:30 at the latest.
All right, 10:30. And I think it's about a 2-hour view.
I don't even think it's that long.
I have mundane things to worry about, ordering lunch and things like that.
No, I understand. But, I mean, for me, no. I mean, from Dedham to Canton on scene, probably 10 minutes at the most, 15 minutes. I mean, I don't know why.
Then why is it going to be 2 hours?
I didn't know it was.
I was told it's a 2-hour view.
No, that's not from us.
That would be max. I think it's going to be shorter than that.
10 minutes might be a little, I mean, because the vehicle will be there as well, which we need to address. But I think we can probably do max an hour, hour and a half, like on the bus there and back. I think we should be able to do that.
Yes.
I agree.
Okay. Who are your witnesses for tomorrow?
So it would be Miss McLaughlin, Lieutenant Woodbury, firefighter Daniel Whitley, another firefighter Jason Becker, and then probably some combination of Lieutenant Gallagher, Sergeant Good, and Sergeant Lank.
Okay.
Depending on how far we get.
2 or 3 minute view openings, right? No longer than that?
Oh, no.
If that. We can discuss it later.
Are they all set to go now?
Yes.
Okay.
Just trying to figure out some logistical things because we're going to go on a view tomorrow. We're going to finish with the testimony first, and we'll go on the view after we finish with firefighter Baldwin's testimony. So, but a couple of things about the view. Please dress comfortably. I really appreciate everybody's dressing respectfully for court, but wear comfortable shoes at least for tomorrow. So those 3 cautions: please do not discuss this case with anyone. don't do any independent research or investigation into a case. If you happen to see, hear, or read anything about the case, please disregard it and let us know. And for the view, I'll give you some preliminary instructions on that just before we leave. Okay, so we'll see you tomorrow. And tomorrow's a full day.
All rise for the court, please.
Goodbye.